And hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Mega Mirror Live. And we've got a great show for you tonight. Actually, we're doing a kind of a makeup. Our guest tonight was intended to be the first guest of the season, but things got mucked up and we had to push it back. But he's here with us today, everybody. Prime Red. How are you, Prime?
Doing well. Doing well. How's everybody else?
Oh, we are doing really good. Really good.
Nice.
So, I'd just like to kind of let people know that, as usual, we're going to be watching some videos from Prime Red, and we'll be taking questions from the side chat. And we encourage you to visit Prime's channel. Check out his videos. He does some really good stuff. Give him a like, give him a sub, leave comments. It helps the algorithm. And with that, let's say hello to my producer, the man who makes it all possible, Cheesemondo. How you doing, Cheese?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good. Sun's shining. It's pretty warm, and I've got a full liter of tea on the go. So this should be a good show.
A liter of tea. That sounds awfully nice right now. I wish I had a liter of tea with me.
No biscuits, though?
All right.
Well, you're supposed to eat like tea and biscuits together.
No, it's too early for biscuits.
Too early.
Oh, is it?
It's never too early for biscuits, Cheese. Come on. Where's your Jaffa cakes?
I wish.
I wish exactly. All right, so let's kick things off and get to know a little bit more about our guest, Mr. Prime Red. Find out a little bit more about what he's all about and his channel. And my first question, of course, is the one I always ask. And for those viewers who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little something about Prime Red and what your channel is all about?
Yeah, I'm just a guy. I'm just a big nerd. I like nerdy stuff. Huge Transformers fan, as you can probably tell, based on my art, which probably looks familiar to some people because one Mr. Steaming Cup of Reason designed it. So I always like to plug him for my art because it's pretty sweet. And I like to have a good time. I like to make fun of things. I like to kind of like analyze plots of TV shows and movies and think about whether they make sense and things like that. So I do a lot of videos like, pointing out weird stories and stuff like that. And just make fun of ridiculous things. That's a big entertainment value that I get out of watching things. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I don't do any specific like debunking, things like that, like a lot of your other people do. But I do like to point out the ridiculousness in media that really should be pointed out, to be honest.
Yeah, I noticed that going through your channel, picking the videos for tonight. You've got kind of an interesting mix of content, which I think a lot of viewers would probably enjoy.
Right. Yeah. I don't like to be any kind of like laser focused on anything in particular. I like to do whatever kind of inspires me.
Gotcha. I think that's true for a lot of us, especially when we're new creators just starting out. I just kind of do a hodgepodge of things and find out what really piques your interest and move forward with that.
Sure.
Awesome.
Sure. Absolutely.
So, how long have you been on YouTube now? About a year, I think, right?
A little over a year at this point. I think I really started posting regularly, I think October of 2019. I think it was October, November, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I remember back in early 2020, we had you on the Shills. That was a fun film. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was I think like June of last year. That was right after, I guess, infamous for me, the infamous Jam review.
Oh yeah, I remember that for sure. So, what was it exactly that got you thinking about getting started on YouTube? What drove you to start your channel?
Yeah, basically, I really wanted to do YouTube for a while, and I kept making these excuses for myself, like, I don't know if I'm going to be entertaining. Maybe I need a partner to bounce ideas off or whatever, things like that. But I saw the trailer for the CW Batwoman show. It just looks so terrible. So I was like, I got to do something about that. If I'm going to do anything with YouTube, it's time to, basically get off the pot and do something. And then with a lot of inspiration from my girlfriend, she is in the chat right now, Casey. Thank you so much.
Well, welcome, Casey.
She's basically like, yeah, just do it. Just get it done. And that's how I started. And then from there, I just kind of branched out and stumbled into the Flat Earth Discords, basically as a response to the lockdowns and everything like that happening in COVID, just as a way to reach out to different people and talk about different ideas and things like that. And got exposed to JM Truth, the man, the myth, the legend, and kind of went from there.
Cool. A lot of people are griping and harping about the lockdowns, but in a way, they were a good thing because a lot of people reached out and made some really good friendships on this platform and others.
Yeah.
So it wasn't such an overly bad thing. It had its good points as well. So and but along the way, what's been the biggest challenge you've had so far with your channel or with YouTube in general?
Just getting people to watch my videos. That's huge. That's a big hurdle to get over. It's just getting the word out there. And I don't like to mess with a lot of social media. Like I don't like to get involved in Facebook, and I don't want to be involved with Twitter, which I know is kind of shooting myself in the foot because that's how a lot of people get their information out and get their videos out. I don't like to be involved with that. So it is kind of hurting me, I guess. But it's kind of the price I have to pay for not wading into that cesspool.
Well, I'll be honest, you're not alone because I myself am not a very big fan of either of those platforms, and I really don't go on them much. And like you, I should be, but I just don't want to, as you said, wade into that cesspool. I can't bring myself to do it. But I'm sure eventually I will, because it is how we get our stuff out there. So. But with that said, I figure we'll just take a quick look at the side chat, see if there's any opening questions for you, and then we'll hit the first video. So, Cheese, is there anything that we need to look at?
I've got one question from the side chat from Carl Edwards, who initially says, Prime, I wasn't sub. I've watched some of the videos now. I am a sub. And then asked the question, Marvel or DC, which has sparked quite a discussion in the side chat. Carl prefers DC. Casey prefers DC. Where do you stand on Marvel DC, Prime?
Yeah, Casey's a big Batman fan. She loves Batman. So yeah, Batman is a great character. I guess it really depends on what we're talking about here because we have obviously movies and comics now. And really video games. So I don't know. That's a hard question because they both have their strengths and weaknesses, and it really depends on what the media we're talking about. I guess movies, I want to go with probably Marvel. I'm not the hugest MCU fan. I enjoy them, but I'm not like a diehard MCU fan. The DC movies, I'm not really all that into. But DC lore, like DC's got really good lore, and I really love the Batman Arkham games, like Batman Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Origins. That's kind of like the Batman I prefer because it's got the best kind of combination I think between sort of grounded and realistic that Nolan was trying to do, and a little more comic oriented as well. So
that actually sparks a question. Myself being living and working here in Asia, I've often wondered what the opinion is on your side of the pond about Japanese manga.
I'm not huge into manga. It is very popular in the United States, though, for sure. It's probably more popular than mainstream comics at this point.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
As far as I'm aware.
With that topic on hand, I think maybe it's a good time to pop on our first video. And this is from your early days. I think this is actually your first video.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's called Don't Watch Batwoman, Watch My Review Instead. Again, remember everyone, the videos are edited for time. So please do head over to Prime's channel. Check out the full-length version. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Give it a like. Give it a comment. It does help the algorithm.
Yes, so, I do want to preface before we get into this. This is like the very first video that I made on this channel. This is before I, had things figured out and before I even had a real microphone. So the audio is kind of potato quality, but the value of, or the quality of my reviews, I think is still pretty good, but just the technical side is a little rough. So just keep that in mind. They do get better. I wouldn't worry. Because I think by like the third one.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Sure.
Let's get into that. Get Cheese to load it up for us, and we'll have a chit chat afterwards. So, Cheese, go for it.
We all knew Batwoman was going to be garbage from the very first trailer. You knew it. I knew it. The YouTube ratings speak for themselves. If you're watching this video, you, like me, enjoy a good train wreck. Now, Batwoman is a train wreck, make no mistake. But this isn't a glorious, epic train wreck with explosions and catastrophic damage. This is a toy train wreck, where the train causes a fuse to blow in your house mid-shower while you're covered in soap suds. It's not entertainingly bad or so bad it's good. It's just dull and obvious and kind of insulting to your intelligence. The episode commences with Kate giving a voiceover, trying to make herself seem mysterious and compelling. It's very CW, but ultimately pointless, but fuck that noise. Kate is going to tell us exactly how much of a badass she is.
I'd spent years traveling the world, training with combat and survivalist specialists so I could join the Crows.
Go. And we're back. Sorry about that. You may have lost audio on that. There's a little bit of an issue with YouTube, as usual. But that's okay. We're gonna have a little chit chat there, Prime, and let you fill in what we've missed. So,
did we lose audio halfway through that?
Yeah, I think we did. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that wasn't a bad review actually. Pretty spot on quite a few things. So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this video?
Yeah, it was the video that basically it was the prototype for every other review video that I've done. So if you like my JM Truth review, if you like my Bible Man reviews, you will enjoy the Batwoman reviews. And yeah, they really inspired me to create something. And I enjoyed writing them and making them, but nobody watched them. Or else I would have kept doing them. But if enough people reach out to me and say, hey, you should keep doing Batwoman videos, or maybe we want to see some more Batwoman reviews, I would do more if you guys, let me know.
Cool. So what do you think, folks? You want to see more Batwoman reviews? Give us a 1 in the chat if you want to see more of them. Prime to get on that.
The show is terrible. There's nothing really good about the show at all. It's bad acting. It's bad writing. It's bad choreography.
Yeah. We got one from Cheesemondo. I'm going to put my vote in for sure. Absolutely.
Carl wants to see some reviews of good series. I could probably do that. Don't necessarily know if it would be quite the same. Although, if you are interested, Carl, I am doing a show with Fohammer 335 that we've called Sci-Fi Navigator, where we are talking about Stargate SG-1. So you might
Cool.
be interested in checking that out.
Awesome. That sounds really good. So, Cheese, do we have any questions from the side chat for Prime?
Well, there's nothing that I've seen. There's still this DC Marvel conversation going on, but the feedback definitely seems to be you should make more of these videos.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay. Nice.
definitely check out Prime's new show, the Sci-Fi Navigator. That looks like it could be really interesting.
Yeah, we can talk
Tell me.
about that a bit later if we.
Yeah, exactly. As a matter of
You guys
fact,
wanna
yeah, we're going to get on that and give you a chance to fill that out a little bit later on. But for now, I guess no questions from the side chat, so I'll give you a couple of questions.
Okay.
Okay, so you said that you do some debunking. What is the stupidest thing that you have ever seen or heard?
I don't really do much debunking, but the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's a good question. A lot of flat Earth is dumb. A lot of creationism is dumb, and that's something that's been bugging me for a while. Like even before the flat Earth stuff is the creationist stuff. I think if I had to say what my if I had to, if going back to the like the superhero theme kind of thing, if I had like an arch nemesis, it would probably be creationism or like ridiculous fundamentalism. So I really look for stuff like that to make fun of. Bible Man is a good example of that. But I could make fun of it, but not really get into like too much of like a religious discussion, I guess. Which I could do if I wanted to, but I kind of like to prioritize the entertainment, the fun value a little more than the message, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Is there any particular moron on YouTube that just makes you think this person is just too stupid to be real?
JM Truth, probably.
I have a feeling you'd say that.
Yeah, to a lesser extent, Frank Turek. I think because for a guy, he's a creationist. He's an evangelist. Not quite on the same ego level as Kent Hovind, but he likes to think of himself as an intellectual. But he says a lot of dumb things, like really dumb things. And I did make a video on a different channel because I have done videos on a different channel that I started out with without any really intention of any kind of consistency. So I may revisit that video again and redo it. I've been thinking about that. Frank Turek says a lot of stupid things, but apparently he's like a doctor of Christian truthology or something like that, kind of like Kent Hovind.
Yeah, typical religious fundamentalist kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there any conspiracy or wild ass claim that really gets you the most? Like really gets under your skin?
Probably. I guess I can't really call creationism a conspiracy, but that really does annoy me. I guess just the ones that seem like they're too stupid to be true, but people still try and spread them as true. I know that's not really specific, but I don't know if I can think of like a specific one right offhand. I tend to have the attitude that that most people are just pose. They're just doing it for the attention or money or whatever. I like to think that. I know it can't really be true, but that's what I want to think.
Absolutely.
Especially a lot of these flat earthers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm convinced that Nathan Oakley is the biggest Poe alive. He does it for the cash and nothing else.
I think there's actually audio of him saying essentially that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I despise that guy. Oh, I despise him. Okay, well, let's take a look at another video and carrying on with this little discussion. And this is actually your take on Bible Man.
Okay.
So Prime Red versus Bible Man. This episode is called Back to School. So we'll have a look at that, and then we'll come back and chat some more and see if there's any more questions from the side chat.
Sure.
So, Cheese, let's load that up.
Welcome back, everybody. It's that time of the year again. Daylight is getting shorter, the mercury is starting to dip, and pumpkin spice is starting to be injected into every form of product people will consume. It's also back to school time again. So in that spirit, I'm bringing you today Bible Man, Back to School. Now, I know you might be asking, Prime, why the fuck do they have to put pumpkin spice in everything from the September equinox to Thanksgiving? And I say to you, I have no fucking idea. And to the people who are also asking, Prime, who the fuck is Bible Man? To those people I say, Bible Man is the fever dream of a raging alcoholic in the throes of detox, trying to rebuild some semblance of a career. Willie Ames, former child star and Bible Man, seems to have given up on the film industry altogether. As far as I can tell, he's a cruise director now, which, given recent world events, if he wasn't fired before, he's certainly not directing many cruises these days. I'm not going to dignify him by calling a hero, much less a superhero. He's a schizophrenic street preacher with a costume fetish. He's one baptism by balloon filled with holy water away from a padded cell. The show itself is badly costumed indoctrination. So badly costumed, it actually rivals the Bible Man costume. It was made for those parents with a jumbo crucifix up their ass that thought they had to literally regulate the hell out of what their kids watched, and thought that Joel Schumacher's Batman movies were too dark and disturbing for children. Thankfully, my parents understood that watching Terminator 2 would not turn me into a ruthless time-traveling death machine from the future. I'm still working on that pesky time travel thing, damn it. The show opens with these kids getting ready to put on a Bible Man show for their school. Yes, it's at their school. But more on that when we get to it. We immediately get assaulted with some shit-tastic lyrics. I'm going to be merciful and limit playing any of the songs longer than I have to, but these have to be some of the worst songs ever written. You don't believe me? This is the first fucking line of the song.
Just climb aboard the Bible, we're going on a trip.
Just climb aboard the Bible, we're going on a trip. That's the shit we're working with here. Kid, you are not climbing aboard the Bible and going on any trip. Unless you wrap it in a strap-on. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not going to kink shame. I guess the producers got some new video effects and really want to try them out because they put them up randomly on the screen. I wonder, do you guys think J.M. Truth used any pseudonyms in the 90s that we don't know about? Bible Man, when he's not Bible Manning, goes by the name of...
Yeah, it's Miles next door.
Miles does have a last name, but this is a Prime Red video, so I have to give him a new name. Henceforth, you shall be known as... Miles O'Suck. And he is...
I was just watching them rehearse their number in the driveway.
Yes, dear viewers, with all the atrocities going on in the name of Christianity, with pedophile priests walking free, how does this stumpy motherfucker have time to gawk at a bunch of singing and dancing preteens? Ah, but fate once again shows us just how much of a cold-hearted bitch she is. Miles O'Suck's opponent for this episode is a full-on Karen. And that's not a joke or one of my witty ridiculousisms. She will tell you herself.
Say hello to Bible Man for me, too. Why is everybody always talking about Bible Man this and Bible Man that? It's me, Madam Glitz, that everyone should be talking about. I deserve it. And after all, just look at me.
Somehow, breaking and entering as Miles O'Suck's house under surveillance. And God can't even be fucked to burn a warning into a grilled cheese sandwich. Free will, I guess. It seems breaking and entering has sent Bubba to sodomize and kidnap Miles O'Suck. Free will, I guess.
Oh no! Poor Miles! Also known as Bible Man. We'll just have to disappoint all the little kiddies at the school tonight. And his reputation will be ruined!
Meanwhile, the kids are loading up on the propaganda mobile, the Bible Man production RV, and are heading to the show, which is fucking weird, because the only other show I know of having an official recreational vehicle is Girls Gone Wild. They sing another terrible song that's little more than a Bible's greatest hits list, and Jam is still going hog wild with his video effects.
There's Adam and Eve, Noah and his boat, Abraham, Jacob, and Joseph's coat, Miriam and Moses counting 1 to 10, the commandments that God gave to him. Joshua with the walls a-tumbling down, Samson with the strength that did astound. Meet Ruth, Naomi, and Boaz too, and the train keeps rolling on through.
Yeah, all the warm and fuzzy stuff that you hear about in church. Not so much about killing all the men and boys and keeping the virgin girls for yourself, though. We next cut to the school, where we get introduced to 90s Kid and Ultra 90s Kid. Seriously, I grew up in the 90s, and I was never as fucking 90s as Ultra 90s Kid.
Can you believe this? Like, Bible Man's really gonna be here. Well, that's what it says on the sign. Yeah, sure. If you don't think he's gonna be here, then why are you here? I love it when famous guys don't show up. Then you can boo and hiss and stuff. I guess that would be kind of cool, but I still think he's gonna be here. You sure? Yeah. Okay, I get your comic book if he doesn't show. And if he does, you get mine. You're on.
Miles O'Suck awakens after his violation to find himself in an AV nerd's BDSM dungeon. He starts spouting random Bible verses that don't really apply to the situation. But this wouldn't be Bible Man if he wasn't expelling Bible verses like a word salad shooter.
Why are you doing this, Glitz?
Well, it's me everyone should be looking at, not you.
James 1:5 says that if anyone lacks wisdom, he should ask God.
Yeah.
That it? Oh man, am I ever glad I cut the edit there. Did you see that kid? Who would do that to their kid, man?
The 90s were a different time, man.
Oh, they were, man. Wow. That is some seriously messed up shit. I'm sorry to say. But anyways, let's check in with the folks in the side chat and see if we got some questions for you. Cheese?
So we've had a question from Carl Edwards who says, how does Red go about doing reviews?
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. So what I do is I watch the show or subjects just to get a familiarization, just to make sure I know exactly what's going on. After I watch it and have an idea of what the show is about, I watch it again. And this time, I look for specific points that don't make sense or points that I can make fun of. And I started taking notes about what I'm going to say. And once I go through the video and have everything that I'm going to say, everything noted out, I'll go in and do a little bit of scripting. I do like to have an idea of what I'm going to say already laid out, so I don't stumble around on my words and use the and stuff like that. I'm very particular with how I edit my audio. I like to cut out all the extraneous words and things like that. So I record that. I do my recording, and then I go into my video editing, and it's kind of what inspires me at the time, a lot of the times. So some of these random jokes that pop up, you'll see it in the Batwoman reviews. You'll see that quite a bit. You'll see that in my latest Bible Man review. I did that a little bit. So I like to keep a bit of an open structure so I can add these little jokes and things like that I come up with, and basically build it in editing. Just edit the clips down and put it over the pictures and videos that I like. And that's kind of how I do it.
Cool. What software do you use?
I use Windows Movie Maker.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, so there you go. Any new and up and coming creators who are thinking about getting on the tube, you can do it with something as easy as Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, you would have to get your computer from like 10 years ago or so to use it. But next review is probably going to be a step up.
You can actually still download Windows Movie Maker for Windows 10.
It's a different version from what I. It's a different version from what I use because I use the one from like 2012 or whatever. I use the old one. It's the only one I know how to use.
With XP. The one that shipped with XP.
Yeah. No. It was more like Windows 10 or not. No, Windows 7 or somewhere around there.
7, yeah.
Yeah, I do see Chris Durham in the chat. He says, "Did I actually watch that whole movie?" Yes, I did. I watched the full episodes. They're not that long though. Bible Man's only about like 24 minutes or something like that. I did watch the entire episodes of Batwoman though, because I feel like if you're gonna criticize it, you kind of have to know you kind of have to watch it to know what you're talking about. Especially because you could miss out on good joke opportunities and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, but the rest of the question was, if so, how is therapy going?
I use alternative therapies.
Cool. Is there anything else for us, Cheese?
There was another question from Carl Edwards who says, does Prime Red have a collection of his notes?
I do, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And a WordPad. I type them down on WordPad. I'm very low tech. So I watch the videos on like my TV, and then on my computer right next to me, I'll type down my notes on WordPad.
Yeah, I do the same thing when I research for my other shows. I still have all of that. I don't throw it away. I can often go back to it and use it in other videos, you know?
Sure.
It's good to keep that stuff around. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you had the power of Bible Man,
what power? What power of Bible Man? He doesn't have any power.
Whatever. Imaginary.
He literally doesn't have any imaginary powers either. I guess the only thing you could really say for a power he has is he can talk to God.
Okay.
And God will decide maybe he wants to help him or maybe he won't want to help him. So it's kind of like the old George Carlin sketch where he's talking about he doesn't pray to God, he prays to Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
So you might as well be Joe Pesci Man, because Joe Pesci's going to answer you just as often as God is going to.
Cool. Well, if you had the power that Bible Man wishes he had, is there a channel on YouTube that you would utterly erase?
Yes. I would erase pretty much every flat Earth, any pseudoscience channel. Really, I don't know anyone in particular that I really have a problem with. Maybe Ken Hovind or Answers in Genesis.
Sure, that deserves to go for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
PragerU.
Oh God, don't get me started on PragerU. But okay, okay. 2021 and 2020 they've been pretty tough on a lot of people. Do you think that this year is just going to be more of the same, or do you think there's light at the end of the tunnel?
No, I think 2021 is going to be maybe not quite as bad as 2020, but I think it's going to be continuation of 2020, I think.
Yeah, it seems to be looking that way, doesn't it?
Yep.
All right. So, do you have any special plans for your channel this year?
I would like to try and hit 1,000 subscribers.
Wow. How far you got to go?
Oh, I got a long way. a long way.
Well, we'll see if we can get there.
Yeah, I'm just below 250 right now. So maybe 500 is more a realistic goal, but
that's doable. That's doable. And everybody in the side chat, once again, remember to head on over to Prime's channel, check out his stuff. He does some good stuff, man. You know,
Absolutely.
give him a like, give him a sub. You know, leave some comments. It does help the algorithm for him. So let's get out there and give him a little bit of a boost. So, and with that, I think maybe oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you guys like these samples that you're hearing, there's a lot more of my humor. If you feel like my humor resonates with you, then yeah, you definitely want to check out my channel, because there's a lot. I don't know if there's a lot more out there, but there's a couple hours of content for you to enjoy and get some good laughs. Hopefully, I hope so.
Absolutely, and make sure you check out his new show, Sci-Fi Navigator. That looks like it's going to be something pretty interesting. So, with that, let's move on to our final video of the evening, and then we'll give you a chance and we'll chat a little bit about your new show and let people know what it's all about.
Sure.
So for this last video, I chose everybody's favorite filmmaker. And this is a flat earth filmmaker fail with our good friend, Mr. J.M. Truth. So, Cheese, can you load that up for us?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we are checking out a fan film from one Joshua Michael Gennari, the Renaissance man, also known as J.M. Truth. Now, J.M. Truth believes the Earth is flat, or at least he says he does. Also, according to himself, he has a list of accolades as long as his arm. Among the most prominent is his master's degree in science for pamphlet making from Full Sail University. Now, let's hear from J.M. himself some of his other qualifications.
And in 2015, I graduated with my Master's of Science degree in Instructional Design and Technology. I spent 12 years as a combat medic in the United States Army. Then I went on to get my Bachelor of Arts degree in Film Production and Graphic Design. I spent part of my time a few years ago as a chef for Baylor University.
Look, I've done photography and videography for many years, dude, so you better not even go there, because I've been a director, a cinematographer, I've been an executive producer, I've owned 3 film companies, so you're talking out your ass at this point. So I've fired mortars, I've studied mortars, I've studied angular momentum. I went through a modified sniper training, yeah.
Now that those of you who aren't familiar with J.M. Truth have an idea of what he's capable, let's take a look at his Superman fan film, Judgment. Jumping right into the film, his intro is worse than a lot of 90s video games. It has the familiar John Williams fanfare from the classic Superman movies, but quickly morphs into a generic synth orchestral theme. JM's little sister or cousin apparently has a Casio keyboard. His intro, surprise surprise, shows a globe Earth, no doubt from before he found the truth of the flat Earth. We get the blandest looking text crawl in cinematic history. Come on, JM, put a little flair into your work. If we have to read this sludge, at least make it look more interesting than the FBI copyright warning screen. Dear viewers, things are really bad in America right now. There's been 20 years of some unspecified standoff with North Korea, even though we could rip through North Korea in a long weekend if we had to, with just a couple of aircraft carriers. J.M. Truth has more of a chance of winning an Oscar for directing Avatar 2, Once You Go Blue, You Can't Have Anyone Else's Goo, than North Korea has at any kind of military standoff. But I digress. The point is, things are so fucking bad for the United States military that there has to be a law put in place saying that at any moment, government agents can boot down your door, grab grandma, give her an M16, and drop her into a foxhole. And apparently this law doesn't just apply to US citizens either. If you are Lars from Sweden, the pride of your family for getting accepted into MIT, you better hope the Marines aren't having a shortage of shrapnel catchers somewhere in East Bumfuckistan.
want you to make sure you show proper respect to Mr. Kent.
Our opening scene, as you can clearly see, is overexposed and washed out. I guess to JM, lighting means either off or on. He doesn't know much about sound either. The footsteps on gravel are as loud or louder than the dialogue. And the way the shots are cut together is super awkward. It looks like the G-men are walking to the front door, but then the next cut shows them walking around to the side of the house. And that's the actual cut. I didn't trim anything out to make him look worse than he already is.
Mr. Kent, I'm Agent Henshaw. This is Agent Grant.
The G-men introduce themselves as agents. Of what organization, you might ask? Well, go fuck yourself. JM's not going to tell you. They don't even show Clark Kent here their identifications. The G-men are here to draft Clark Kent because of how bad things are. So bad, in fact, they can't even afford to put a mic on Clark.
What's the guy do with me?
Mr. Kent, the government is aware of your special abilities, and we need your assistance in helping us bring some things under control.
Your assistance will be invaluable.
No, it won't.
Mr. Kent, you understand what happens if you refuse this offer. You'll be in direct violation of Article 5150 of the Patriot Act of 2035.
Now, according to G-Goatee, it's at least 2035. The car they drove to get to Clark Kent's house looks to be an early Prius, which means things are so bad, government agents have to drive around in 30-year-old cars.
Mr. Kent, we don't mean for this to come across as a threat. We just need your assistance in this simple matter. We have it on highest authority that the no power sanction could be lifted. You could be a hero again.
So what you're saying, by the rap of the gavel, all my sins will be forgiven?
Except for the part about being a traitor.
What's your name? Agent Grant?
Yeah.
You ever been to the moon?
No.
Talk to me like that again.
Okay, listen.
Agent Grant, that might be the worst idea you ever had.
This audio quality is pure garbage. I can barely understand what Mumbles of Steel is saying. Now, I myself am not a filmmaker, but I guess ADR is just really, really hard to do for JM.
You have 24 hours to respond to our request, or we're going to be back here with our friends.
The G-men tell Clark Kent that he has 24 hours to agree to help them with his immense powers, or they will come back with more guys. This is supposed to be Superman they're talking to, right? This is like a couple guys made out of wet newspaper saying if you don't do what we say, we're coming back with more guys made out of wet newspaper. I don't get what the threat is.
What are you gonna do, bleed on me?
They mentioned something called a no power sanction. How does that work? And how do they even know who the fuck he is? Did Clark Kent pinky swear that he wouldn't use his powers? Isn't that a character trait of Superman? He'll stand up to unjust laws? Obviously, he still has his powers. That's the whole reason the G-men are there in the first place. They never elaborate on the traitor thing either. The government will draft anyone they want to on US soil, but they will let people they consider traitors just walk around free. This plot makes no sense. We go inside Grandma's house where Juice Wayne is waiting, and they have a badly scripted conversation where Juice Wayne says the NKs have a kryptonite WMD, which will either be used, killing Clark Kent, or he retrieves the weapon, and the G-men have a way of holding him over a barrel. Superman can't think of a third alternative, like maybe throwing the weapon into the fucking sun or something, so he goes off to think. When the camera angle switches, we're left to assume that Juice Wayne jumped out the window because he's completely gone. This shot implies Clark Kent is soaring off into the sky, but the effect is completely ridiculous, and I use the term effect in its loosest possible sense. He might as well be jumping over the camera in order to get to his 1997 Buick LeSabre that's parked directly behind it.
Yeah. Oh man, that hurts every time I see it, dude. Good review, man. I love the commentary.
Yeah. I was shocked how this took off for me, because this is by far my most watched video. It's blows all my other videos away. It's a good video, but I think there are other videos that are just as entertaining. But yeah, this is the one that took off because I guess the subject matter. But it's still gonna kind of tickles me today. when somebody like FTFE will say like, "Oh, did you see J.M. Truth's Superman fan film?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, you wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for me."
Damn, that is such an unbelievable piece of junk. I mean,
I know you had J.L. Warren on a few months ago, and he did a version. Of course, his version was inspired by my version. And if you've seen his, but you haven't seen mine, definitely check mine out because they definitely make different points. My review goes into a lot more of story and plot details. JL's is a lot more to do with actual technical aspects of the video. He might have done that on purpose. I haven't talked to him about that. If someone were to like edit the two together, like mine and JL's reviews, I think it would be a fucking amazing review. Just
oh yeah, I think it would be so cool to kind of stitch the two together because the technical stuff that really is JL's forte. I mean, he's really got that down, and he knows what he's talking about. You know, so you get that in with your blazing commentary, man. That would be something awesome.
I will say this, and that nothing against JL. He does good content, but I think mine is funnier. Mine is definitely funnier.
Ooh, the challenge has been set. But yeah, everybody, go over to Prime's channel. Check out this whole video. It is freaking awesome. The commentary is great, and it just tears Jam a new one. So well done, sir. Well done. I really enjoyed that last one.
Yeah, and the thing about this, he can talk about all day. He can talk about how it was his first movie and whatever, and he did. He replied to JL's review, and he's like, "Yeah, this is my first video," and blah 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 blah. And yeah, you don't have a lot of experience on your first video, but that is no excuse for bad writing. There's no excuse at all. And if I like basically a nobody can point this out, then maybe you should have thought about that before you started making your fan film.
Yeah,
that's what my thoughts going into it, because there's no excuse for it, even if it's your first fan film. That's fine. And the big thing is though, he talks so much about his skills and things like that if this was just some high school fan film or whatever, I wouldn't have done it. I would have avoided it. But because of JM's supposed expertise in everything, especially filmmaking, I had to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's so in your face about it too. Like he goes out of his way to friggin' just spout off all of his supposed credentials. And when you look at his work, it's like, this is a joke.
Yes.
This is an absolute joke. Those opening titles were so cringe. They were so bad.
Yep.
Oh, I mean,
that may be something that you're stuck with. But that's no reason why you can't have an interesting title crawl, though.
Yeah, exactly. Do something. Just liven it up.
Yeah.
It was just so like lazy and just no attention to detail at all.
That's an accurate description. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Cheese, do we have anything from the side chat for Mr. Prime on this one?
We do. We've got questions and comments from two people. So, Woden Toad says, I've watched a lot of videos and you have a great style and hilarious commentary. And then goes on to ask, and I don't know what this means, but MST3K fan?
Oh, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yes, I do love Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.
Awesomeness. And then Carl Edwards asks his last question, and he says, how long does it take to do a review? Let's say for an hour-long video.
For an hour-long video, it takes me probably 4 days to make one of these.
Mm-hmm. You want to go through it a couple of times to make sure you're covering the right bits and so on, right?
Yep. Yeah, I do. I have to make sure that I get the appropriate content because I don't want to give you guys like a lame commentary. I mean, I'm building a name on my commentary. So when people come to see a Prime Red review, I feel like I want to give you, like a meal. I want to give you guys even if it's like like a 20-minute video or something like that. I want to make sure that you guys are getting, your humor appetite filled. When you come to see a Prime Red video, I think I'm kind of building like what's the word, like a level of expectations. Like you expect a certain amount of humor, so I like to make sure you get that. I like to make sure that I understand what I'm commenting on, because that's important to me. I don't just want to make fun of it just to make fun of it. Like I want to make sure that the critiques I'm pointing out are valid and make sense. So that's why I add a lot of the actual video into my video, because I don't want you guys to just have to take my word for it. I can be like, here it is right there. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes me a while to write some of these sometimes. I do feel like I have kind of like a natural talent for like what I call my ridiculousisms. A good point is that jumping over the camera to go to his Buick LeSabre behind it. That's kind of like an example of one of my ridiculousisms that I call them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to make sure that you get that, because I know people come to listen to that stuff. So it takes me a while to write, and then I've got to record the audio as well. I'm very particular on how my audio sounds now, because that is kind of like the big thing. So I like to make sure the audio sounds good, and then I have to edit the video, and I like to edit my videos in a specific way as well. So all this takes a while.
It does. It does. A lot of people don't realize how much goes into even a simple video.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
20-minute video. Like my last Bible Man video, I think it took me about 4 days to watch it, write it, record it, edit it.
Yeah. A lot of work goes into it, but in the end result, shows that you put the work into it, and it's good content. It's just a matter of getting people over there to watch it. So get over there, everybody. Sub, like, subscribe, comment, watch the stuff.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, watch my 5G video. I'm very proud of my 5G video. I think it's just as entertaining. Maybe possibly even more entertaining than the GM Truth review. But definitely they're on par. That I don't think gets enough attention, because it goes through and makes fun of all the tropes that the conspiracy theorists put in their videos and stuff like that. But basically, it was that we didn't watch any of that. But basically, it was kind of a challenge that I put myself up to, because I saw a meme of 5G. It was like a Five Guys, which is a burger joint. It's a sort of a higher level fast food burger joint that they were like 5G. So I took it upon myself to create this conspiracy theory that would that people would use to like link Five Guys to, of course, the BS 5G conspiracies out there. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this might be a good time to find out a little bit more about this new show you've got coming up, Sci-Fi Navigator. What's that all about? Can you kind of give us a preview?
Yeah, there's actually a full Sci-Fi Navigator episode about where we talk about Stargate SG-1 Episode 1. And basically, this is a big departure from my normal stuff, because this is mostly straightforward. This isn't where you go to get my humor and my ridiculousness. A little bit here and there, probably going to work in more humor, but this is going to be mostly straightforward. It basically, it's kind of high concept for me, really, because me and Foehammer 335 do it, and we're kind of doing it in character. The concept is that we are part of a crew of a starship, a warship from the future, and we're creating this TV show that talks about old sci-fi media to entertain the crew. So we kind of do it like in character, and we talk a little bit about what's going on in this sci-fi universe as well, like what we're doing and like what the ship's doing and stuff like that. So we're talking about the episodes, and we recorded a full-length commentary for the first episode of Stargate SG-1 as well. And there's going to be an episode 2 coming out. That's the next thing that I'm going to be working on. Is we're going to do episode 2.
Cool. So when does it run? Like,
oh, I don't have any set schedule at the moment, though. So they just kind of get released when they get released. Yeah, which is another thing I don't like. Consistency of releasing videos comes second to quality.
True. But if on YouTube, they really are all about the consistency, and that might help your channel a bit too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that is something I'm aware of. Yeah, that I don't have any kind of consistency. But yeah, I like to put out interesting and enjoyable content before regular videos. Yeah, so I am going to try and work on consistency a bit more with the Sci-Fi Navigator stuff.
Cool. Well, I look forward to checking out that first episode.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to be interesting. So everybody, make sure you head on over and check that out. Give it a boost as well.
Yeah, there's a playlist.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, there's a playlist for Sci-Fi Navigator that kind of starts to get you into the lore of the show, and it uses a little bit of artwork. I actually designed the starship. I call it the Ranger. I actually designed it myself using Google SketchUp. So
cool. That's awesome. All right. So at this point, I think we'll move on to the quick fire questions round.
All right.
Where we find out a little bit about your personal choices and your personal favorites and that kind of thing. So we'll just run through that, and then we'll give you a chance to chill out anything you want to chill out, and we'll wrap things up.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So here we go. Quick fires. Autobots or Decepticons?
Autobots.
Awesome. Pizza, burgers, or Chinese takeout?
Ooh. Depends on the mood, because I do really enjoy pizza and burgers and Chinese food. But maybe pizza.
Okay, well, that's kind of my favorite as well. All right. Your favorite generation, as in boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z?
Okay. Let's go. World War II, the greatest generation, the guys who fought in World War II.
Awesome. I respect that. That is awesome. Okay. Being that you're such an incredible Transformers fan, what is your most prized collectible?
My most prized Transformers collectible?
Any collectible.
Any collectible. Wow, that's hard. I've got a lot of really cool collectibles. My girlfriend Casey bought me an issue 1 Transformers comic. Sealed. It's got like a 9.6 rating for quality. So that is definitely high on the list. My favorite character is, of course, Optimus Prime. So I've got a masterpiece Optimus Prime figure that I really appreciate as well. So yeah, those are a couple of big ones. This could probably be its own live stream, just talking about my Transformer stuff and my nerd stuff in general.
Cool. That's cool. All right. When it comes to music, pop, rock, or other?
Rock.
Cool.
I like a lot of different music. I'm not a big fan of like country and rap and like generic radio pop.
Yeah, I know. It just ain't what it used to be.
No.
All right. Your favorite film director, and don't you dare say J.M. Truth.
Favorite film director.
Your favorite.
I don't have a favorite film director. Possibly my favorite film that I tend to go to is Back to the Future. So I got to give high praise to Robert Zemeckis. He did a fucking amazing job on that movie. He's had some not so good movies. Spielberg, of course, that's kind of like a no-brainer because he's done some amazing stuff too, but also some bad stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on the mood I'm in.
Okay. When you were in school, which subject did you enjoy the most? What was your favorite?
Science.
Good man. I like that answer. Okay. The last three. First one. Person, living or dead, that you would most like to meet if you could.
Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime.
Ooh, interesting answer. Cool. All right, let's flip that coin. What person would you most avoid meeting?
That's a long list. Avoid meeting. Nathan Thompson, probably.
Okay. All right, that's a good answer. And the last one. The top 3 things on your bucket list.
I knew this was coming, so I had to try and come up with some kind of list for this. Okay, one of them would be visit the 4 Iowa class battleships from World War II. They're all museums now, so I would definitely love to do that. Actually, all the battleships. I think there's 8 still remaining in the United States.
Yeah,
I love battleships. So I'd love to see those. I want to get to like a cool car, like a muscle car as well.
Okay.
And for the third one, this is kind of out there, but kind of going back to the sci-fi navigator thing, I think if I had like a TV show or series of novels or something like that based on my imagination, I think would probably be
that's a
super
good
amazing
goal.
feather in my cap. Yeah.
That's a good goal. You know, that's something to strive for. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, before we close things up and give you a chance to fill out your stuff, let's take one last look at the side chat and see if there's anything left to cover. Cheese?
Do it. Yeah, guys, give me any kind of questions. I see Cheese was pointing out, we're talking about Star Trek? Because I'm a huge Star Trek fan also.
So Mark, I always get your name wrong, Mark B was saying that J.M. Truth should be put in charge of writing and producing and directing the next Star Trek movie. Could be an improvement over the JJ verse.
Oh no! Well, I agree with him there. The Star Trek after 2005, it's been fucking abysmal. I don't know. Maybe J.M. Truth could do better. Now that I think about it, at least it would be like entertainingly bad and not like cringe-inducingly bad.
Okay, interesting answer. Anything else, Cheese?
That's all as Ryder a Dinosaur says, that's all I have for you right now.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the point of the show where if you have anything you'd like to chill out, let our viewers know about. The floor is yours. Go for it.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys. I had a blast talking to you about my stuff and getting it out there, talking to some people. I don't get enough interaction with my subscribers. I feel like barely get any comments. So you guys really need to like leave me some comments and let me know what you're thinking. Reach out to me. I'll talk to you about anything really. And if you guys want to do any kind of collaborations with me, hit me up. I would love to do that. I did a collaboration with Johnny O from the Plot Hole. People seem to enjoy that. I'd like to do more. I'm super interested into that kind of thing. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to do YouTube videos as well, to build a community, interact with people, collaborate with people. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching my stuff, and I love that you guys are getting enjoyment out of it. And big thing, I wish you guys would get more exposure. And I know this is kind of on me. I could be doing more myself, but if you guys want to share my videos and stuff like that, different places, I would love that, to help me get a little more exposure. But of course, only if you want to, because ultimately this is my channel, so this is my responsibility. So don't feel like you have to, cheerlead for me or anything like that. But yeah, I'm thankful you gave me this opportunity to talk to you guys today. So I had a great time.
Great. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for coming out. Sorry we had to push you back so far because of the mishap on the first episode, but I'm glad we finally managed to get you on. So
yeah, me too.
Thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you, guys.
You appreciate it. And to everyone in the side chat, I also like to say thank you very much for coming out. Always great to see you guys in the chat. We're getting quite a few regulars in there, and it's really nice to see that. And remember, if you get a chance, head on over to Prime's channel, check out his stuff. It really is good stuff. Give him a sub, give him a like, comment on his videos. It will really help his algorithm. So yeah. And then with that, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Cheese, for another great show. And we'll see you again on the next Mega Mirror Live.